Butcher and Ryan's relationship in The Boys Season 5 may have just become the most tragic storyline in the entire series. And after episode 3, everything between them has changed. What began as a broken bond built on guilt, pain, and responsibility has now turned into something even darker. Episode 3 doesn't just give us another emotional reunion between these two characters. It exposes how far Billy Butcher has fallen, how deeply Ryan still wants approval, and why this relationship may ultimately decide how The Boys ends. For a long time, Ryan represented the last piece of humanity left inside Butcher. In a world full of corruption, betrayal, and violence, Ryan was one of the few people who could still soften him. Ryan was Becca's son, and because of that, he became the final promise Butcher made to the woman he loved. Protect Ryan, keep him safe, make sure he never becomes like Homelander. That promise was one of the few things keeping Butcher grounded. But Season 5, Episode 3 shows us something painful. Butcher may still care about Ryan, but that love is now fighting against something much stronger inside him: obsession. When Butcher finally meets Ryan again after so long, fans expected an emotional scene. Maybe apologies, maybe healing, maybe some sign that their bond could be repaired. Instead, what we get is one of the coldest conversations in the show's history. Butcher tells Ryan the truth about Homelander, about the war that is coming, and about what needs to happen next. But hidden beneath his calm words is something terrifying. Butcher is asking Ryan to die. That is what makes this scene so disturbing. Butcher is not yelling, he is not manipulating with anger, he is speaking gently, almost like a father trying to explain a difficult truth. But the truth he is giving Ryan is brutal. Ryan needs to help lure Homelander out so the soup-killing virus can be used, even if it means Ryan dies in the process. It is one of the darkest moments in Butcher's character arc because it proves he now sees victory as more important than innocence. This is why Episode 3 matters so much. Earlier seasons showed Butcher as ruthless, but there were lines he would not cross. Ryan was one of those lines. Now, even Ryan has become part of the mission. Series creator Eric Kripke explained this perfectly when he said Butcher's speech is chilling because it is delivered warmly, but he is essentially asking a child to be a suicide bomber. That statement captures the horror of who Butcher has become. He is no longer lying to himself about being the good guy. He knows what he is asking. He knows it is monstrous. He simply believes it is necessary. And yet, this relationship is more complicated than simple betrayal. Because Butcher still loves Ryan. You can see it in the way he searches for him. You can hear it in the cracks beneath his voice. You can feel it in the final moments of Episode 3 when he finds Ryan's broken body after the fight with Homelander. Butcher is a man torn between revenge and love, and every season that conflict becomes uglier. Ryan, on the other hand, is the real tragedy here. Ryan has spent his entire life being pulled between two father figures who each represent opposite worlds. On one side is Butcher, harsh, angry, damaged, but at times genuinely protective. On the other side is Homelander, powerful, charismatic, emotionally unstable, and desperate to mold Ryan into his image. Ryan wants guidance, he wants identity, he wants someone to believe in him, but neither man truly knows how to be a father. Butcher uses Ryan as a weapon. Homelander uses Ryan as an extension of himself. That is why Ryan's emotional state in Season 5 feels so heartbreaking. He is still a child carrying the expectations of monsters. When Butcher tells Ryan he is not strong enough to beat Homelander, the line cuts deeper than many viewers realize. On the surface, it sounds like strategy, but emotionally, Ryan hears something else. He hears rejection. He hears doubt. He hears that the man he wanted respect from does not believe in him. And Ryan responds the only way children often do when desperate for approval. He tries to prove himself. That decision leads directly to the devastating confrontation with Homelander. This fight is not just physical, it is psychological. Ryan enters the battle wanting to show Butcher he is strong enough, and perhaps wanting to show Homelander he is not afraid anymore. But Homelander is not a normal father. He is incapable of healthy love. Even when he cares, his love is possessive, violent, and conditional. So when Ryan challenges him, Homelander responds the only way he knows how: domination. The scene where Homelander overpowers Ryan and beats him into the ground is horrifying because it strips away every illusion. Ryan is not standing before a father. He is standing before a narcissistic tyrant who would rather break his son than lose control over him. And Ryan lying motionless after the attack may become one of the defining images of Season 5. Because in that moment, both fathers fail him. Homelander fails him through brutality. Butcher fails him through manipulation. Ryan was pushed into that battle by two damaged men using him for different reasons. That is why Butcher finding Ryan's body hits so hard emotionally. It is not just grief, it is realization. For all his talk of protecting Ryan, Butcher's choices helped put him there, and this may be the turning point of the season. Many fans are now asking whether Ryan will survive and what state he will be in if he does, but there is a deeper question. What does Ryan become after this? If Ryan lives, he may never trust either man again. Think about it. Homelander nearly killed him. Butcher sent him there. That leaves Ryan emotionally orphaned in a world where he already struggled to belong. This opens several major possibilities for the rest of the season. One theory is that Ryan finally rejects both father figures and chooses his own path. This would be the healthiest and most powerful outcome for his character. Ryan has always been treated as someone's future weapon. Choosing independence would break that cycle. Another theory is much darker. Trauma could push Ryan toward rage. If he inherits Homelander's power but loses faith in everyone around him, he could become even more dangerous. Story. Episode 3 suggests Butcher still has a tiny spark of humanity left, but it is fading fast. Kripke described it as a small spark in a hurricane, and that feels accurate. Butcher may regret hurting Ryan, but regret does not stop him. If he needed Ryan again to kill Homelander, he would likely make the same decision. That is what makes Butcher one of television's most fascinating anti-heroes. He is not evil in the traditional sense. He still feels pain, he still mourns, he still loves in broken ways. But none of that prevents him from doing monstrous things. He is the kind of man who cries after crossing the line, then crosses it again the next day. That complexity is why fans stay invested in him. Still, Butcher's downfall may now be unavoidable. If Ryan survives and learns the full truth of Butcher's intentions, whatever bond remained between them could be gone forever. And if Butcher loses Ryan completely, he may become nothing more than vengeance wearing human skin. What makes this storyline so strong is how it reflects the larger themes of The Boys. The show has always been about power corrupting relationships. Institutions corrupt heroes. Fame corrupts morality. Trauma corrupts love. Butcher and Ryan are another version of that same theme. Butcher genuinely cares, yet his obsession poisons that care. Homelander claims to love Ryan, yet his ego poisons that love. Ryan stands in the middle, crushed by both. This is why their relationship may decide the ending of the series more than any fight or virus. If Ryan chooses compassion, the cycle may finally end. If Ryan chooses hatred, the cycle continues. If Ryan dies, both Butcher and Homelander lose the only person who tied them to something human. That could unleash chaos beyond anything we have seen. There is also an interesting contrast between Butcher and Homelander as fathers. Homelander is openly toxic. His cruelty is visible. Butcher's damage is more subtle. He convinces himself that harsh choices are acts of love. That is why some fans still root for him, even when he becomes dangerous. But episode 3 strips away those excuses. Love without protection is not enough. Good intentions do not erase harmful actions. So where does this relationship go next? Expect Butcher to become even more determined to kill Homelander after seeing Ryan nearly die. But expect guilt to haunt every move he makes. This could create a more unstable version of Butcher than we have ever seen. Expect Ryan, if he survives, to awaken emotionally changed. He has now seen the truth of both men in the most brutal way possible. And expect Homelander to react badly if he realizes Ryan may turn against him. Nothing is more dangerous than Homelander feeling abandoned. In the end, Butcher and Ryan's relationship was never meant to be simple. It was built from grief, guilt, and impossible expectations. But Season 5, Episode 3 may have shattered whatever innocence was left between them. Butcher wanted to save the world. Homelander wanted to control his son. Ryan wanted someone to love him without using him. And after Episode 3, he may finally understand that neither man knows how. That is why this storyline feels so powerful. It is not just about superheroes or revenge anymore. It is about how broken people pass pain to the next generation. And unless Ryan breaks free from both of them, history in The Boys is about to repeat itself in the most terrifying way possible.